This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching the best movies ever made. You can go to our website, mission250filmcast.com, where we have the list frozen and all the older episodes, upcoming videos, movies, whatever you want to call them, on there too. This is terrible.
Films,
I am one of your
flicks,
hosts, Denny, and joining me are
Pictures, John.
And TC.
And TC. What do we do on this podcast typically each week?
Well, like you just said, we are
Repeat
watching
what I said, please.
supposedly the best movies of all time. We froze the IMDb top 250 list.
Help us.
God, a long time ago now.
Send help. I'm blinking
send help.
Morse code, but it doesn't work on the
but
freaking
nobody
podcast.
Nobody can
No.
see it. Yeah.
Maybe
I
you
actually
can
have a
just
gun to my head right now. Denny's pointing it at me. Watch the movie. Watch the movie. Watch the movie.
They're going to get better, I swear.
Don't worry. It's going to be fine.
Why would they be
next
higher on the
week's-
list if they weren't better?
Yeah, next week's might be from 1910, but it's cool. I mean, we didn't even make videos then, but whatever. It's cool. Keep watching the movies. So we watch the movie. We talk about the movie. Denny watches every fucking commentary that's imagined it could ever exist.
Uh-huh.
And then we go through
And that
some,
may slowly
notes
drive him
and-
insane too.
Uh-huh.
So.
Right.
It's already doing that. Yeah. This is a mask I'm wearing. I'm not, I sound fine, but anyway.
Yeah, but I'm dead inside. I am dead.
I have
I'm
my
dead
cats.
inside.
I still have my cats.
My cats
Look
are
at the
alive.
fluffy. Yeah. So that's about what we do. And then we just kind of remember why TV's better. I don't know.
Well,
Wow.
I have a lot to say about TV in this one, but this week we're watching number 100.
Well, there's always the top 250 television shows of all time. I don't know. We can.
That
they
would
do
take
that?
like 100 years or something.
That would take
Well, yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how we do that. We just have to maybe pick
One
we just watch
episode.
we'd watch the first episode,
middle,
and
and the end. Yeah, or the first and last. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think we figured the story out.
and rate
Actually,
the whole thing based
that
on
could
that.
be kind of funny because it would be like, you'd be like, what, so what do you think happened here? Because it's
Yeah.
a totally different situation than the first episode. Anyways, but I digress.
Yes. But so this week we're watching number 133, which is the 2009 movie Secrets in Their Eyes, directed by Juan Jose Campanella. The synopsis is: a retired legal counselor writes a novel hoping to find closure for one of his past unresolved homicide cases and for his unreciprocated love with his superior, both of which still haunt him decades later. And John,
Yeah.
it's your
Go
turn to
first.
review it first.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, I'm John. I got that.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I know
Hi,
my name.
No, you are right. That is true. I am John. Thanks,
Like
Denny.
a dog. I just look at you, Denny, and go, yeah? Who's a good boy? I'm a good boy. Anyway.
Good boy, John. All right, your review. What did you think?
Well, this is another one of those cases, I think, where I'm very happy for this list and what we're doing because this is a movie I would not have seen otherwise, or even I did not know about this movie.
Fair.
Fair. So 2009 foreign Oscar movie, or foreign winner for Best Foreign Picture. There was a terrible remake. I think in 2015? 15?
Yeah.
Anyway, we can talk about that.
Julia
It's
Roberts.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny because I said I was watching this movie to someone and she was like, "Oh, the one with Julia Roberts," and I was like,
Right.
"No,
And Nicole Kidman.
no, not that
I
one."
mean, that was a high, as far as like star list goes, but I mean, or sort of like slightly past their prime stars, I guess, but still, that
Ooh,
was
Julia Roberts
yeah.
burn.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she's doing well again.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I mean, we're friends. We razz each other about that all the time. But anyway, so yeah, this film, I really liked it. It really made me think, and Nikki and I both watched it together, and we really were absorbed by it. There was some great like composition shots. Like I really liked the first train scene, the way they did it. There was some pretty graphic moments that I did not enjoy, but were very striking and terrifying. I think that I have some general questions still. But I sort of like that I'm trying to understand. There's some things that to me aren't too clear, and we can discuss that. But I thought the characters were just really interesting to watch. I thought they were just very expressive, like just in their eyes, and it's sort of like it didn't seem. Yes, there are secrets there. Get
God
it?
damn it.
Get it?
Was it in their eyes though?
It was. There was
the
they
secrets
were
are there.
expressive.
It's funny because I kept typing in to find it, like when I had to watch it again because I fell asleep. It was like, I kept typing in a secret behind their eyes. I go, what the fuck? I'm like all pissed off. It's a secret behind their eye. Oh, no. Okay, nope, it's in there. It's in the eyes. Got it. But anyways, keep going.
So it's a complicated story to tell, and maybe this might be one where we kind of like follow the plot for a bit. But I also really like that. I mean, it had these elements to it where on one hand, you've got the Esposito's story in terms of his love for this woman and how he's not willing, for reasons we can try to discuss and understand, but he's just not willing to commit to this woman that he's really in love with. And that's kind of like a central sort of theme of the story. And then on top of that, then you've got this murder rape case that doesn't get resolved. And he's trying to like, somehow this murder rape case really is stuck in his mind, and he's trying to write a story. And so you have going back and forth in time. And I feel like this movie handles it extremely well. Like it could be really complicated, but I felt like I was following it along. I just felt like carried along with things. I wasn't like, what are they doing? Where are they now? It really felt like it moved along.
It was the gray
well.
beard versus black beard. That's all you needed.
Yeah, exactly. Like gray beard versus black beard. But I felt like it just moves. They switched time periods really, really smoothly, like effortlessly, it seemed like. And I appreciated that. I thought that was kind of an impressive thing to pull off in the complexity of the story. So you have Esposito's love for this woman. You have the rape and murder case and the effect that it has on her husband, the surviving husband, and his feelings about justice. And then on top of all of this, you have and you have his partner, which I really like, Salvador, the sort of drunkard guy who's always answering the phone, making quips. You know, I thought that was hilarious. He's the government legal office. He's like answering the phone, blood bank or sperm bank, depositor withdrawal.
Yeah,
you know, or he just had a quip all the time, and I thought he was just pretty hilarious. And yet he was this sort of sad drunk at the same time. And I thought his character was interesting, and the way it sort of played out for his character was sad, but also I thought, well done. And on top of all this, you have this really dark period in Argentina's history, and where it was this fascist regime that had taken hold, and then that plays a role because the person who had done the rape and murdering was protected by this regime. And they're like, yeah, he's a rapist and murderer, but he works for us. And, you know, we need people to do things like that. So you're screwed. And I think one of the most memorable scenes in the movie is like, so they confront this rapist and murderer and get him to show her his junk, which was terrifying.
Lots of dicks on this list. Lots of dicks.
I was like, wow, they just went for it. Okay.
Not just the dick, kind of the balls too. You're just going to
Right.
grab the whole thing.
You got to get it all in.
Package.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
brain and
Like,
everything.
we talked about how we prefer those sorts of graphic violence to be off screen. You know, I don't know if I was like, ah.
Oh
Dick.
boy, hey.
But anyway,
Hey.
but the scene where he gets in the elevator with them, and I don't know if he sees them there or not, but he pulls.
He
out his
does.
gun
When
and kind of cleans it. Yes.
when he leaves, you can see him in the reflection turn around and like raise his eyebrows at them.
Yeah, that was really powerfully done. I thought that was like amazing. It really showed their helplessness, and just sort of they both showed that they were terrified. I mean, yeah, the main character.
Who are you focusing on in that scene? Who are you looking at?
All three of them, really.
Okay.
Like what do you mean by that?
I just mean I thought the main actor guy was really bad, but
Oh, I see.
yeah, and I thought he was bad in that. I thought he was bad throughout.
Oh.
Like the woman did a really good job in that scene. She looked scared.
Yeah,
did,
you don't-
yeah.
He just
But
looked
he
tired
just
or
fucking looked
something.
the exact same the entire goddamn
He
movie.
was.
Yeah.
He did have a he had like a very stoic face.
Yeah.
It didn't
I
move
thought,
much.
You know, that's just, you know, he's just muted. He was really terrified inside Denny, and I could see it in his eyes.
In his
you can
eyes.
tell.
Oh my God.
They're good
Yeah.
friends,
I hate it.
Denny. They razz each other
I
like this.
fucking
That's
hate
what they
it.
do, you know?
How many times do I get to say that?
You sound like the director in the commentary. He's like, well,
Oh, no.
you can see it in
You
their
see
eyes.
it
I'm like,
in
God, no,
his
you
eyes.
can't.
Oh,
No,
dog,
you
your
can't.
self-reference. Oh my God, the self-referential bullshit's got to stop, right?
Oh,
like
dear.
Jesus,
Oh,
this
I'm
is
sorry.
terrible.
I actually liked him. I wasn't taken aback by his emotions. He just seemed more like unwilling to show emotions, and I just sort of went and bought that he was just hiding. He was masking himself the whole time, and that he couldn't face things. It was part of why he couldn't like get into a relationship with his boss. He was intimidated and didn't
What
think
a
it would work out.
fucking bum move on that one.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. But
they loved each other as soon as they saw each other. You could see it in their eyes.
Shut up, TC. Shut up. No, you couldn't. You couldn't.
No. It didn't exist. It didn't
we should
exist. I
just
swear to God.
we could have a game where you have to take a shot every time,
time
you
you
say
say
it.
it,
Title
yeah.
of the movie.
Can you
I
play that
mean-
game when you're the one controlling how many times it's said? It seems like a bad idea.
No, the one
Well-
you says as I never really quite understood shot games.
It's just called take a shot. As far as I was
Anyway.
concerned, I'm like, how about we just drink it?
How drunk
Yeah.
do we
Just
get in
drink
an
it.
hour?
Like, we all want to get drunk, right? Is there someone who doesn't want to get drunk? Or do you want to get
cool.
drunk?
You
and
guys
play
all
the
want to get
game?
drunk? All right, so how about we just put it in a glass and drink it? Yeah.
I mean, I got work tomorrow, but it's Friday, so fuck it. You
You
know?
want to get drunk and have some excuse like, I don't normally drink like I'm a complete alcoholic, but
really
we're
do
playing
this.
this game, and there you go.
Yeah, right.
He kept saying it, and so I had to drink. What can you do? You're
Yeah.
playing the game. But I thought that scene was really effective, and I think this idea of these historical events are going on, and people are just living their lives. They're trying to do their jobs. They're trying to do whatever it is that their jobs are, and it's this bigger picture sometimes intrudes. And I thought that was really effectively done because you can think about like what's happening in our country or whatever, where we have the government shut down right now, and we have this really frightening idea that the president's actually like a Russian asset.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Let's not go there.
Right. But the thing is that that's only a part of our lives. We're still we're still living our lives, going to work. We're doing whatever we need to do. It's just that whole other big thing could intrude at some point. And I felt like that to me was really effective the way that was done in the movie. It's not like these are like, we're not hearing the story of freedom fighters or these people who are standing up and going out and fighting for justice or whatever. You're actually just seeing these people being affected by the regime. And I thought that was just the way it was done. It was done in a very subtle way. And I thought that was pretty cool. And what I learned too is like with the history of this stuff, what happened even after the regime fell, there was laws that the people who participated in it could not be prosecuted. So the rapist and murderer, Morales could not have gone after him. He would have been put in jail if he tried to if he were to get retribution. And so this rapist and murderer, Gonzalez, he would never have been, or Gomez, he would never have been, he was above the law, even after the regime fell, because that was part of the negotiation. So he felt like that was his only point. That was, it was up to him to carry out any kind of justice if there were to be any. I thought that was really interesting. And then it sort of ends at this point where, you see that Morales has been keeping him, has been keeping Gomez. And it's just, I thought that was very effectively done too. And you sit there and
I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
I didn't quite catch it until like he was doing the whole flash. I mean, there's a little bit too much flashback in this, but that scene when I watched it again, I was just like, oh, right. I should have picked up on this. Like, like he's figuring out that he couldn't. Right. I mean, so he kept him for the whole time as a prisoner.
Well, I was confused for, I was like, what did Morales, at first I was like, because things seem so sinister, I was like wondering, well, what did Morales do, the rape and murder? Because I'm confused, but that didn't make sense.
Why did he go back?
What?
Why did the guy go? I'll let you finish. Sorry.
Well, because he was remembering what he said from before, that he would never kill him. Because what would I do with 4 bullets? I don't need those. We want to, it's not.
Esposito,
it's easy.
This case had haunted him. He wanted some kind of resolution. It was really bugging him. I think that was the problem too. Is he, and he did.
I would argue with that too, because I'm not sure that's the point of the movie. I don't think it was.
No, it is.
No,
I think it is. It's actually in the synopsis, so I think it is.
It's written down.
Like it's literally in the synopsis.
Points for TC paying attention.
I'm going to argue when it's my turn that this movie is not about the rape and murder, and he barely gives a crap about that. He's writing this book to focus on this because it involves the woman, and that book ends the movie. So it's like he's bringing that back up to like manipulate this woman to fall in love with him or some shit.
Oh, manipulate? Come on, that's a rough fucking go.
Wow, that's a bit dark.
Jeez.
Well, some reason to talk to her. Yeah.
Somebody's you need to go play with your kitties more, man.
You need to go, man. You need to go be like, hey, go give your wife a hug or something.
Yeah, wow.
Jesus.
I'll make my argument when it's my turn. Go for it.
No. That's fair. But,
he's still going to go for it.
Yeah.
No matter
but
what.
for whatever reason, I mean, this movie, I just went along for the ride with this movie, and I appreciated it with its complexities and ending up with this idea of looking at Morales' perspective and wondering if like, hey, is that okay what he did? And you're kind of like, Yeah, that's all right. I mean,
To be
I
fair to
understand.
Denny, I was waiting for the woman to come back in any scene possible. I'm like, when is she coming back? I
Oh,
don't really, when's the most beautiful woman ever coming back? Jesus,
she was
gorgeous.
great. Yeah, she was. Anyway, so that's my take on it. I mean, I thought the movie was interesting, and I liked the historical context of it in terms of this is like, I like the subtlety of putting this film in that context and saying something about this fascist regime without necessarily making that the point of the movie. So I thought that was well done. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it told a really complex tale that was very thought provoking. So, Nikki and I, it gave us something to discuss for a while afterwards, and I appreciated that. So, all right, go ahead and crap
Well,
all
I want to go
Who's good
TC.
next, Danny?
How about you go second?
Okay, so I like this one. I mean, it's my kind of movie, right? Realistic and based on normal human interaction. There's no frills in this one, right? It's a fucking single cam, dialogue based movie. There's nothing too special as far as like, some of the other movies we've watched. There's always like lately, like Blade Runner. Like there's a whole world we're entering into, right?
There's one part, right? There was the soccer part.
Right, but that's not like the movie, right?
Right.
Like that, they probably spent most of the budget of what $3 million or $4 million dollars or whatever.
$2
it was.
million.
Like
I
$2
did like
million,
the
there you
camera
go.
work. I mean, there
Well-
was good scenes with the camera work, like when they were going through the grandma's house, the way
Right.
the camera like moved through the house, like opposite them.
Some steady
I
cam
thought there was
stuff
like,
and-
I thought there was the soccer scene chase sort of. I think that it felt like they were being kind of creative with how they decided to shoot the different scenes. And I like that. It wasn't the same thing every time, which was nice.
I think the worst part of the movie was whoever did the makeup because they didn't
Yes.
look good.
Yep.
The makeup, that was like the only thing that was bothering me. I
Were
was
they
like,
not-
every
they were not
close-up
pretty
shot,
enough
I
for
was
you?
like, who is the fucking makeup artist on this and why were they letting them go?
Dude,
Like,
if you
why
listen
were
to the
they
director
shooting this?
on the commentary, the director's like, "Oh, the makeup is so good. If you like, even
No,
in
it
high
isn't.
definition on a big screen, you can't tell." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?
What are
I'm
you
looking at
talking
it right
about?
now."
I can't believe he said that
Yeah.
because I mean, like literally on my piece of paper, like I have like 2 notes and one of them is this makeup is terrible.
Oh,
I can't imagine sitting there on set looking at the fucking screen and the monitor and then not being like, hey, so can we get someone else in here to do this?
Yeah,
Like this is awful. And they don't look old. They just look weird.
made up.
Yeah.
They look like
they
somebody
didn't do
took a
good
wet
job there.
sponge with white paint on it and just like dabbed him in the face.
And then was like Picasso
Gave him
or what's
gray
his
hair.
name? A Pollock painting with like another color. And he's like, no, we're gonna just like sprinkle it there and
Yeah.
put it there. It was like, look, it was not the best makeup I've ever seen. I
Agreed.
think they took the budget. They took the makeup out of the budget, and they got some indie person. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was bad. But yeah, I mean, overall, the story, it's a little bit slow here and there, but there was some funny parts when he was a younger dude, a young lad, with that other like I don't know, a counselor, I guess lawyer or whatever, who was just an asshole.
Mhm.
Like the guy that just wouldn't let up. He was always a prick.
Like
Yeah,
the
and
boss
then
in
they-
the other office.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The boss in
the
the other
judge.
district. Yeah, was it a judge?
No,
Or-
the other boss, the guy.
Romano or something.
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah,
I forget.
yeah.
yeah. There were some funny parts there where he was just, they were ripping into each other. That was
Yeah.
pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's, my style of movie. It's, it was good. I don't know if I definitely wouldn't have watched this on my own. There's no,
Yeah.
there's no way. I mean, I wouldn't have come across in my path at all. I don't think so. I guess the list did all right for me on this one, but I mean,
Good job, list.
I wouldn't, necessarily be like, wow, you got to go see this movie. But I didn't, dislike watching it. I ended up having to watch parts of it twice because I wasn't following it the first time. But this is a new problem of mine. I have no attention span. So I mean,
Maybe it's the movie's fault, TC. Maybe that's what it
I don't
is.
know. I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
I think that like a lot of the, really the makeup was killing me sometimes. And I was just like taken out of it for a second. And it's the worst part because they're going into the close-up for a purpose. And then it's like all this makeup. And you're like, what is going on here?
That's fair. No, I mean, this movie certainly did not mind like just dwelling on closing in on the characters, like just
No.
showing them pretty close up and
Yeah.
allowing
Why?
things to sit there.
Why? Why did they do that,
Because
John?
they were looking into their eyes.
Oh my
You can
god!
see-
Genius.
You know what? You know what was in there? Secrets.
Oh, no, what was in there was the title of the movie. You didn't even know it. He's like, hey, what should I call this one? I don't know, but there's something in their eyes. Oh, boom. What? Dude, that's it. Money. Something in the makeup. That's what it should have been
Yeah.
called. I mean, yeah, overall, I think it's a decent movie. Surprised to see it this high in the list, to be honest.
Surprised to see it on the list. Come on.
Oh, yeah, Denny hates this one.
Oh, yeah. Boy,
but,
Denny's going
yeah.
negative.
I'm going negative.
Yeah, he's going negative.
Negative Denny here. Everybody brace yourselves.
It's also tough to watch subtitles, too. So, there's that as well.
Yeah, there's that.
I think that's why I was tuning out. Like, I was kind of tired one night when I was watching it. And
It's
like, I
hard,
was
yeah.
like, as soon as you look away, you're fucked. Like, literally, if you look away for 10 seconds, you're no longer a part of the scene.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, I mean, definitely not something I'd recommend to most people unless they just came across like, hey, did you see this one? Is it good? Be like, if you rented it already, fuck it.
If you accidentally spent money on it and haven't watched it already, go for
by
it.
chance it's in your queue for some reason. Yeah, what the hell? Hit play. You're not going to be that disappointed. But,
I love that review.
Yeah,
It's
right.
such that's the middle of the road
hey,
review.
this guy was in Wild Tales.
Yeah.
He's in a bunch of shit, actually. I was noticing in his IMDb.
He was in the car fight.
Yeah, he's in both of the Argentina movies that won Best Picture in the past 20 years.
So he must be like one of the more prominent actors there.
Yes,
then?
I would assume
Yeah,
so.
I guess so,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's decent. I don't know. I didn't hate it, and it's my style of movie, so I think I probably gave it more attention than, say, Blade Runner or something. But that's just because I don't like those kind of movies. Or movies in general, like I always say.
Yeah. I think I know why you like this, TC, and this in no way is meant as an insult. When I was watching this movie,
All right.
I thought
that's
it was
a typical thing to
a
start off
television
with.
movie.
No offense, man, but
yeah,
there's some offense.
TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
feels like television crime drama is what it feels like.
Yeah. It could have been shorter,
Yeah.
right?
And I looked
Yeah.
it up, and I had this note many times. I looked it up. This guy has directed 17 episodes of CSI before he made this movie.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa.
So
Weird.
there's something there.
connection
Chunch.
Yeah.
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 So I
But,
didn't
I
like.
mean, yeah,
I'm not a
other
huge
than
fan of
that, I
that
don't have much
genre,
else.
so that I didn't like that part. I didn't like the main actor's acting. I thought it was pretty bad. I didn't see the whole theme of the movie, the secrets in their eyes. Do we have a bell noise whenever one of us says that? Ding.
Yeah, yes.
I don't think I saw anything in their eyes. I was looking, and I watched it with a commentary on too, so I was able to like watch the movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't. There was nothing in the eyes. Like the actors didn't have very expressive eyes. I didn't think so. It was kind of just zooming in on faces that had no expression on them, except for just like a blank, regular face, a resting face. Am I wrong? Like, did you guys actually see emotion in their eyes? Did you see like, oh, he's hiding something in his eyes, or is it kind of
No,
just like
that
well,
is weird because there weren't really secrets. I guess the secret is what? That they love each other? I don't know.
I mean, you could just more have it be in terms of like the murder case where he just noticed the way the guy, Gomez was
Oh
looking.
my god, we
Those
get
were
to that
secrets in
part.
the
That's
words.
the stupidest part of this movie, or one of them.
Secrets
Well,
in the words.
What, like every time this guy takes a picture, someone's yelling cheese, and this guy's just staring.
It's like,
Well, I guess they tried to explain that, I guess, by like the way he stared at the judge's apprentice's cleavage in that one scene.
Yeah,
He just like
right. Well,
unbreakable glare at the cleavage and like, dude,
right.
manners, come on.
You'd think too, you're in that situation and you're about to be accused of rape and murder, and they're like, he couldn't do it. And I'd be like, you're right, I couldn't. I'm not a man. That's okay.
That part I also didn't believe. Like there's so many parts in this movie that I didn't believe. Like I actually thought he did a good job acting. He convinced me that he didn't do it before the judge's apprentice came in and it was just like, I bet you got a small dick. And he's like, fuck you, lady. I'll
that
show
was
you
a little
my dick.
unbelievable. That was
Yeah.
a little unbelievable.
It's like, that's what men are like. We just have to show you our dick. If you insult us, we're just all fucking men is what we are.
No, we don't even need to be
Well,
insulted. What are you talking about? No,
I
I'm just kidding.
mean, no, I wouldn't say that.
What do you think?
They're
Huh?
saying
No? Okay.
They're saying all men are like that. They're saying men who rape and murder.
I don't think anybody would-
But I feel
That
like
seems
in real life, I feel like the rapists and murderers, they don't even bother showing the dick. They just go right for the rape and murder.
Yeah.
They might not care.
They're not flashers
I don't
too.
know.
They're just rapists and murders. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not, I don't know. He knows they're going to be questioning him. He must be thinking about this for a while because he's been on the run for a long time. He lasted 5 minutes in the interrogation room. 5 minutes.
No, I know. You could just you can be like, yeah, you're right. I have a small dick. And yeah, that's embarrassing.
And I do
Thanks
have
for
thin
bringing
arms.
That up.
Like, you're an
I have
asshole. What
thin
are you
arms.
doing?
Right?
I
Like
am
imagine
only-
why are you
you're
being so
totally
mean? I don't understand. I didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about my dick for.
You could argue. You could argue that somebody who does this thing has such a thing has this really inflated sense of masculinity and is very can be triggered by that sort of thing, and so you can make some argument that somebody like that who would do acts of violence can be provoked.
Yes, but not
Right,
that quickly and not
right,
like
I
the way
see.
they showed it on the
Fairly.
screen.
I mean, yeah, I know, but I think that's just what it's getting at. And I'm like, yeah, I'll pass.
I mean,
That's
I
fine.
understood what it was getting at, like I did with the entire movie, because a lot of the time they'd explain it to you. Like,
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
the worst part of the movie was the romance. And sorry for being negative. I actually was going to plan on going more negative, but I saw the budget was $2 million, so I'm going to cut it a little bit of slack if
Oh,
at all
give 'em a
possible.
little
Yeah.
nice because
Yeah.
they're acting on the cheap, huh?
And I think a lot of like Wild Tales was also on this list, so I think there's like a lot of Argentinian pride on IMDb, which is cool. Like, it's good to watch foreign movies and stuff like that. So I don't know. I thought like
Right.
watch Wild Tales, not this one, I guess. But
I mean, a movie with a bunch of flashbacks is really not great writing in general.
yeah,
Right.
And I totally usually hate flashbacks too. So I still like the way this movie did it. I was along for the ride, and I didn't hate the acting, and I wasn't bothered by the makeup.
here's a question for
honestly,
you.
Don't know
I
what's wrong with
I
me.
liked it wrapped up in the little bow. I was like, oh, they do get
Oh,
together.
the bow was the worst.
It's
Oh,
close that
I
door,
love it.
it's
I'm
gonna
always
be-
looking for the happy ending. You know, come on.
Okay, so here's well, first of all, I want to ask you guys a question. At what point in the movie did you know, or were you convinced that the main character Esposito was falling for Irene, or it was in love with
And
Irene?
when they saw
Oh,
each
it's
other,
like
when they
immediate.
saw each other,
Yeah, it was
Seriously?
when she came in, yeah. Come on, it's obvious. It was in their eyes.
I hate you. I fucking hate you.
What are you talking about, dude?
Denny,
The mannerisms, their eyes.
I'm getting drunk over here,
Denny.
guys. Oh
Yeah,
god.
come on, look. Just look closely into their eyes. You'll see.
You
it.
see how the
There's
camera's,
something there.
right in the center of the shot there?
Don't look at the makeup. Look at the eyes. Hang on the eyes. I don't know.
I like when the one part I knew I was supposed to think that, but I never felt that, was when their drunken sidekick, when like they walked by and he kind of flirted with her and he said something to the
Right.
effect of like, I might dress like a troll or something, but I'm suave or some shit like that.
Right.
And she leaves and he's like, the guy's like, how do you do that? How are you so suave?
Oh yeah, the
and I was
saints,
like,
the thing.
that's
Yeah.
that. First of all, that wasn't suave. That was stupid. Second of all, you shouldn't be looking up to this guy. He's a fucking weirdo. Who like his wife
I
hates
think
him and all
he
this
was
stuff.
he was just
Hey,
amazed that he could
buddies.
say anything to her.
But
that
also,
could
like,
compliment
he had
her.
to tell us by saying, like, it's because you're madly in love with her. And I'm like, oh, he is? Oh,
Wait, you didn't
is that
get
true?
that?
No, I didn't get it
You
at
didn't-
all.
Wow, so you got weird issues.
You know what I was
then, my
looking at? I was
friend.
looking at their noses. I was looking for stuff in their noses.
Well,
but I
then
wasn't
that's
supposed to be
your
looking
problem.
at
You're
it.
fucking. You're thinking about poop. You're looking at noses. The movie's about eyes.
Damn
and
it.
all this other shit. And
I should have
there's
read
a
the
reason
title
why you're
before
not
I watched it.
connecting-
Oh.
Yeah, you're not connecting the dots here, Denny. I don't know. I figured. I mean, John, I don't know about you, but I knew exactly what was going on when he was jealous about the guy being suave. I'm like, this is like
Yep.
this is like high school shit. This is what.
Yeah.
It was high
Everybody
school
says.
shit, exactly. And I didn't like it either how, like, she was engaged. She was about to get married. She announced the engagement or whatever, the marriage at the office. And then she
Yeah, 'cause she
still
was hoping he
expected
was
the
gonna be
guy
like,
to, like,
do something.
she, like,
Yeah.
liked the other guy, which is weird because she's engaged. She shouldn't really, if you're engaged, you shouldn't be like, hey, I'm still available.
Oh.
That's
I mean,
fair.
you can do whatever you want, but that's
That's
dumb.
fair, but
Yeah.
that's not how life goes.
But
most of the
she
time.
does, like, do something. She's like, "Do you want to tell me you like me or not?" And he's like, "Well,
I mean,
I don't
why?
know."
And what a bum! He didn't fucking stand up for it. I would have been like,
Yeah,
"Damn right,
like
I
a
do.
fucking
Fuck
high
you
school
getting married."
student. You stupid
Yeah.
idiot. I couldn't take
Yeah.
it.
Oh, what to say? Yeah, you do. You fucking want her and you
Yeah.
like her. Shut up.
Plus,
So I was
I also
annoyed
didn't
by
think
that,
that,
but
there was anything in their relationship that led me to believe that they would be compatible at all. For like, I didn't see that. Like, this is a love story.
what do you mean? They do the same thing. They work in the same fucking.
But
like,
they never
situations.
interact with each other. They always just like they're kind of
Ah.
all they do. Like the guy, there's a lot of like females must be attractive in this movie. Like the guy's ex-wife, all he does the day after or like the next time they meet is talk about how attractive she is, and like he's like, "Oh, look at her, isn't she beautiful? She was so beautiful." And you're like, "Well, that'd be fucked up if that was the thing you were talking about. If your like wife died, you'd be like, "Oh, wasn't she hot?" You're like, "Dude, it's your fucking
Yeah.
wife. You're supposed to love her."
I mean, I don't know. So, I mean, I don't.
I don't know.
even if they were, because I feel like someone would say that even if she's butt ugly, or he's butt ugly.
no, you
right?
wouldn't.
Like, yeah.
You'd be focusing on.
Yeah,
I mean,
you would
can
because
mean-
you
I
think
don't
they're
know.
beautiful
It can
can mean
mean a
more
lot of
than like
things,
their
yeah.
physical.
No, he was
fucking
talking about the
face.
pictures. He
well
was pointing
said,
at the
Cece. Good
pictures.
job.
No, because he was pointing
Yeah,
at
but-
pictures of her face, and he was like, "Look at her, isn't she beautiful?"
Man.
You
You're just
are
focused on the
fucking-
makeup
Yeah,
and the
man.
noses and
No, and the poop.
And the
For some
poop.
reason, there's poop in
Yeah,
this now.
there wasn't,
I
but
don't
now
know.
there is.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
like when the main character Esposito was walking down the hallway, every woman he walked by, he's just like, "Look at you, it fell from heaven." I'm like, ugh, fucking macho shit right here. I do not like this character.
well, he's just
Partially
trying.
different
It's
culture too.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I agree with that,
but
but
I have no idea.
I'm not a fan of, I don't know, whatever. So, yeah.
You're a smart man because you're married and you're saying all the right things. None
No,
of
this is how I
bothers me.
feel too.
Single
I don't
man,
know.
I'm
I
like,
could
I
be
don't give a
very
fuck.
wrong, but
Yeah.
No,
it
I
just
think
all
it-
that
I
stuff
think it's
was
fair.
very
I think it's
unbelievable to
fair.
me.
Yeah, I think those are all fair points.
They
Still
are.
like the movie.
Oh no, he's not wrong. There's no. You're right.
You're not wrong, man.
I think once you're on a tangent of not liking this, like from the start, too, you're fucked. You're never catching up. It's never going to come back for you.
Yeah, and so like I turned it off like when it was over. I like the thing is I'm very negative on it. When I was watching it, I wasn't hating it. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, this is weird how this is on the list, but like it's not overly bad. It's not unwatchable. You know what I mean?
No.
And that soccer scene was pretty cool, especially like contrasted with the rest of the shots, which I thought were like boring and generic. Just like a
$2 million
TV show.
$2 million.
Yeah,
$2
exactly.
million. Yeah.
But that soccer scene was cool, like the one continuous shot. Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
But also, I don't know.
I mean, there were parts of the movie where I was thinking to myself, what is this movie about? Is it about the romance? Is it about the murder? Is it about...
I think
not
I'm going to
realizing
argue
that it
it's
had to
about
be,
the romance because it starts with it and it ends with it.
Right. And then the subplot is the murder. I mean...
So what I think is, and I also have questions to you guys, and maybe, John, this is some of what you have questions about. I have questions about the Esposito being an unreliable narrator because there are certain scenes where he gives you a taste without like an actual narration. So it like becomes a part of the movie where he gives you a taste of what he thinks he's going to write about.
Right.
And that happens.
He definitely does that like with Salvador's death, you know, where you see it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards he's like, well, maybe that's how it happened. I
Right.
don't know. I saw those pictures flipped over.
And that's how he starts writing the book too. Like he imagines
the train
the scene.
scene where she's like sloppily running after him, which seems really, really silly and overtly romantic.
Didn't that happen? I thought that happened.
Yeah,
it did.
I don't know.
It did happen.
Yeah,
I think it happens.
because it sounds really, really. It seems very strange for them to do that when they're both being so reserved. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah, I think the way this movie is put together, it's possible to think that nothing of this shit happened, and he's just writing it as like fiction. And like she didn't even remember that train thing, the way he wrote it. So this is all just coming from his head.
Subjective, opinion of it, of the situation.
Yeah, I really don't know. Like, he could have even invented his friend there, you know, like the drunk friend. He could have invented anything beyond the murder.
Wow.
Because there's nothing giving you evidence otherwise, right?
So basically, you were so bored that you were concocting a story that didn't exist in the movie. Because, like, that is not what's going on.
But don't you think there were some scenes where it cut back to
possible.
the present time when he was older, or whatever time that was, where it made me think that maybe what I just watched wasn't necessarily true. Because, like, he was writing and, like, pondering or something. Like, there was a couple points in the movie where I was like, wait a minute. Was that fake? Did that happen? Was that a real story? Is this canon?
You were reading into it too far, thinking it was deeper than it is. It's probably less. So
maybe
it's a superficial rom-com with a no com. Just
and I have so
rom.
So you guys think that he was obsessing about this case for 25 years. My argument to that is that he only wrote this novel so he'd have an excuse to go and talk with what's her name, Irene again, because when he goes afterwards to the ex-husband of the murdered girl's house, and like I didn't get this from watching it, but the director said in the commentary, so whatever this is worth, this is the first time you've seen a picture of the girl in 25 years when he's looking at it, and that was what he was trying to get out of the expression of the guy, which was blank to me. But if that's the case, then he wasn't obsessed with it because he'd be looking through the files and shit like that for 25 years. Don't you think?
Well, why would she? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Do I win? Yes.
No, you don't win.
Oh,
because I mean, it's a good theory though.
Yeah.
But it's just a plot hole. I think that they
Maybe.
didn't wrap up right. But I mean, I feel like the only reason why he went to talk to the girl is because he realized that's how fucked up everything's going. He's got no more chance. Like these fucking guys holding someone in his basement in a fucking cage. All this other shit that he thought was real isn't real. And then he's like, fuck this. I'm going to tell her I love her finally. I should have done this 30 years ago.
wait, but he was talking to her before he saw those people were in the basement.
Yeah, but like he didn't, I don't know. I think he was, he didn't tell her how he felt. He just came to talk to her.
Yeah, but he was hiding out for like what, 25 years before that? Because he thought
but I mean,
that
he wanted to share his work with someone who would know what the fuck it is, right? I mean, who else are you going to have read the fucking thing? I would be the first person. Be like, remember this thing we went through? What do you think about this story?
I don't know. It felt more like to me, it's just like, hey, I made this mixtape. I'm going to release it online. I got a lot of followers, but I want you to listen to it first.
No, because you would think if he did that, he would have already.
You like it?
No. He would have already fucking. He would have already done that. If that was the thing, he would have done it when he gave the story to her, not at the end.
What else was going on? Is there some context to your week? I mean, come on.
No.
Yeah, what's going on?
Am I saying anything that couldn't be taken out of the movie? I'm not making up parts of the movie over here.
No, you're not. You're fine. I just
I
don't
know,
think
I
that
know.
it's that deep.
I think also I should have put a disclaimer
Which is
going
proving
after.
your point that the movie's not that great.
Well, I mean, yeah, and going after 2 Blade Runner movies where all it is trying to figure out, like, looking past it and be like, what the fuck is
In the
going on
eyes?
here?
Yeah.
In the eyes?
Yeah, Oh yeah.
Did you look in the eyes,
You can
Devon?
read their eyes. Look, there's the red light in their eyes. I can see that. I can see the red light in their eyes.
I wonder what secret's behind the red.
But if you
Don't
haven't
die,
listened,
don't die.
listeners, if you haven't listened to those podcasts, Denny is convinced that he's got his own little theory about the red light in their eyes that shows you that they're a replicant.
It's not my theory.
So it's a secret. No, well, not
Well,
everybody's
it's a
theory, though.
secret.
Yeah.
It's a secret theory that's on the
It's
internet.
in the eye.
eyes. It's in the eyes, Danny.
It's in the eyes.
dude. Dude, just fucking look in the eyes. Don't look at the nose.
Yeah.
Don't look at the
no,
poop.
not the nose, no the poop,
Just
not the makeup.
not
Look in
the
the
poop in
eyes.
the
How did poop get into this episode? That wasn't me.
I don't know.
That's
It's just
TC.
you. No, you
Yeah.
like poop. So I'm just
Yeah.
bringing it up because it's funny.
Like poop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a great rep to have.
If I'm the only one who finds poop funny, then kill me, all right? Just
Which
fucking
is so
sue
he just
me.
admits it. He just admits
No,
it.
you're not the only one. It's just usually the other boys are like 4 years old. That's all.
Well, fine.
Shit. That's funny. Anyways.
Anyways,
I mean, you know the movie's not that great when we're fucking launching into jokes about poop. right?
Yeah, I
mean,
loved it.
like-
I really enjoyed this one. So
no, I know.
screw you
I didn't say
guys.
it's not enjoyable for some,
know.
and because I'm one
and
of
it's
them
not
that likes
objectively
it, but
bad or not objectively not
Right,
great either.
right,
You know, it's
right,
like, you know, whatever. But it's not
It's a $2
not
million
whatever, but it's
fucking
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it
I'm
out
just,
there,
I'm
right?
just disappointed because I wanted to. I was hoping we'd all like it. Then we get to have a really interesting discussion about why he didn't he couldn't go through with the relationship with her, and then what is it about his experiences with this case that then led him to decide he could do it? Because that to me is
don't
kind of
know.
an open question that I didn't quite understand.
I want to hear your thoughts on it, John, because I have my answers, but you won't like them. So go ahead.
I know you won't like them because he's stupid and she's stupid.
He's stupid, and
then
he's
he
like,
comes
"Oh,
back.
you like me?
don't
Crap, I'm
emote
nervous."
anything, and their eyes are boring, and everything
There's
sucks.
nothing in their eyes, man. There's nothing there. That's why. That's why
nothing.
this movie's
Yeah.
stupid.
So wait,
It's
I'm going to
dumb.
humor you. You're curious what your 2 questions are. Why did he resurrect the case later on in his life? And why?
Well, no.
Sorry, go
What
ahead.
it's kind of his driving point is this case stuck with him. He has this unrequited love. So why was he so fearful in the first place to pursue it? And then what is it about the case then, towards the end of the movie? Because the real sort of end of the movie is that, instead of writing that he fears, he writes "I love."
Oh, man.
And
How convenient that in Spanish you can just add one
Yeah.
letter and change it
that
completely.
convenient. Yeah. It was beautiful, man. I thought that was awesome.
I actually can't help you with these questions because I've already told you what I think in both of the situations. So.
Yeah. It's just all crap.
It's just completely different than what is probably in the movie. What's probably in the movie is that he's just he has a confused feeling for her. He doesn't know if it's love or not. So he's just like a nervous.
No,
high
I
schooler.
think it was very strong and such a deep connection. He was afraid of it. I think that he was terrified to love as much as say Morales did, and didn't know what kind of effect loving somebody that much can have on your life.
Damn, dude. I wish I had
so
your
he's afraid.
experience.
He's afraid to he's afraid to let go and let loose into the feeling because he's
Because
like,
what if you lose her? What happens if you love somebody that much and they become so important to you? Then what happens if something bad happens to them?
Or I mean, just I don't know. I think it's much better to just come out with it already and then deal with it. If
Right. Fair, but also she was a different class than him. I mean, and maybe again that there seemed like there were some barriers there in terms of he just he's just a schmuck and she's Ivy League educated, already engaged to some other person who's Ivy League educated. She has connections to the government that rendered her untouchable, and maybe also he feared that if he got involved with her, that it would put her at risk. Because maybe it would make her less protected, and maybe I was making this up more, like maybe her relationship, her engagement was also solidified her protection. Like whoever she was marrying, maybe he was also well connected, so that solidified her place. So I totally made up, but I was just kind of thinking about those things.
So sorry to repeat the same question, but I want a real answer. I feel like the last one was a joke or something. When did you think that his love was so deep for her? Did you actually Can you like point to a
In
scene?
the beginning.
He was
Really?
smitten, right?
Yes,
From the beginning.
and it's not a
You know
joke.
what? You
It's
know
what I
what?
said the first time.
Okay, sorry. I
Denny.
thought. I mean, just like the
Denny.
cameras are on their eyes, and like they
Yep.
zoom in on their faces. It's pretty much
Yep.
you can't see it in their acting
Which
with
is
their eyes.
right
It's
when
in
you
the-
find the secrets.
I swear to God.
Right when the secrets
I
came
still
out.
feel like you're not giving me a real
Exact thing.
answer.
No, Denny, I'm sorry you don't want to
I
believe
don't
it,
know
but that's what
why
I thought. I
you
knew.
do
I'm like,
not-
oh, these two love each other.
I thought this guy acted well, and I thought he showed that he was smitten by her and did it well. So,
Okay,
yeah.
I want to ask again. Sorry, I thought the first time was a joke. I didn't mean to insult your
No,
answer.
I know. Well, yeah, I don't mean to insult you. I'm
Insult
just
you, but
saying
like,
that
hey, you're an idiot, right? Like,
what you're
fuck.
saying-
No, I'm an idiot. You guys both enjoyed it, and you
We're
know the
picking on
answer.
you.
So
Yeah,
I'm
relax,
the idiot
relax.
over here.
No.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
saying what you're saying makes so little sense. I have to assume that this is humorous because otherwise,
No offense, but like, you're so illogical right
You
now that it's got to be a
joking,
joke, right?
I mean, to be honest,
you're
that's
not
the way I'm
joking?
thinking right now.
Oh, well,
That's
I'll
what
be
we're
quiet
saying.
then. You're not joking, huh? You sure you're not joking? Because man,
Yeah.
all right, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm wrong. No, it's me. I'm wrong. You're not joking. It's me.
Yeah, it's me. But like, what's wrong with you guys, right? You know?
Yeah. But it's me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right. So let's say, what would you do if you were in Morales' situation?
Morales.
I thought he was going to kill. I thought he basically early on in the film. I thought he was going to kill Gomez or Gonzalez. Gomez, yes. I thought he was going to kill him, the rapist murderer.
Well, first of all,
Morales
I
is,
would
then-
have shown my being upset more than he did.
Uh-huh.
Don't you think? He seemed. I thought for the first half of the movie that he was going to be the murderer because he just didn't seem to care.
He seemed so.
I think he was just so in shock.
Yeah, it seemed like he just. And again, maybe this is just more of a. I mean, I felt like these people had the emotions and they just weren't being that dramatic about it, but that they were much more reserved in terms of how they expressed it. And
How are you reserved? How are you reserved? I mean, I don't know anyone who's ever had their wife raped and murdered, but I don't think that's the kind of thing you like. Just are like, hey, I'll help with the investigation however I can.
No, well, there's that, but you don't necessarily have to show that. You may have many private moments where you are a mess and a wreck, but maybe depending upon the kind of person you are, you keep it together in public or when you're talking.
You got pretty
to other
close
people.
with that detective, though. I mean, this is me expecting things from movies.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
But didn't he have to keep him off the trail because he already had him in the prison? He
Yeah.
had to kind of be normal so that
Well,
no
there's
one
that,
would
yeah.
suspect him that he.
Well, he had to, or because also if anybody knew that he did what he did, he would be
He'd
punished.
be in jail.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
but
why I always figure if you're going to do revenge, you might as well have someone else do it. And then you know they're dead. That's what I would do. I'd be like, I'd hire somebody. I'd be like, no, this guy's fucking done, but I'm not going to do it. What are you,
Right.
bro, you
I'm
nuts?
gonna get my hands dirty. Fuck that.
Yeah, these hands don't touch the patient. What the fuck's the matter with you? You know?
Seem to put fair amount of thought in that, TC.
No.
Watch a lot of
don't have it.
CSI. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
oh, there
Exactly.
you go.
There you go. Bum, bum, bum. No offense or nothing, but you like CSI, so
Yeah,
I'm being a real dick in this episode. I apologize.
yeah.
no, you're good.
That's all
It's
right.
funny as hell.
Hey,
What are you
it's
talking
good.
about? I love it. Don't worry.
Oh, man.
These are fun.
I'm just glad you liked a movie, TC. It's been like a while, I feel like.
It has been.
That's
I've
true.
had a
You
rough go
had
lately.
a hard road of it lately. It's been one unhappy moment after another.
Oh
for
yeah,
you,
no,
so-
I've had serious thoughts about like I guess I don't like movies. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I've been up at night after a podcast being like, so I just don't like movies. Like, what the
Oh,
fuck's
that's
going on
really
with me now?
sad. That's
You
sad.
know, like
No,
shit.
no,
Like
no.
there's something wrong. I'm not even liking to
No.
watch them anymore. Like I'm getting annoyed that the fucking week's coming up and I got to watch the movie on the weekend.
Oh, that's bad. We
know?
need to try to work on that. I don't know what we
I
can do
mean,
to fix
it's
it.
the movies.
It's the
not
movies.
It's not the process. The process is fine.
We got an old one next week. Possibly.
God.
Possibly.
Possibly. I thought we might be doing a punt on
It
and
seems like an
doing,
appropriate time to maybe switch it up and do something topical.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
I think it might. I mean, dude, yeah, I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Because this is
Okay.
getting insane. And I'd like to be able to have something I look back to in 30 years ago. This is what we were thinking about during this insanity.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
It's gonna be a warning before anyone speaks type of episode, I think.
Well, I
Fair
mean, we heavily edited.
Yes. Yeah.
I say we go for it and fucking do whatever we want, and then we can all
Yeah.
listen to it and be like,
And
nope,
we know, let's just
nope,
mention
nope.
we're considering watching All the President's Men next week.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So and actually this is gonna come out afterwards,
Now-
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now that we
it's
said it,
gonna
we're
be
gonna
another-
do it.
Yeah, we'll do
So-
it. All right, we're done.
We're done.
Um,
Yeah. Can I
but
list off some other stupid parts of this movie, please?
Yeah.
All
Go.
right, fine. Go
Okay.
on, go on, Danny. Get
So
it out.
TC,
Try to
you
get it
actually,
all
this is a
out.
question for TC. Since you watch a lot of crime drama, I feel like that stuff probably has roots in reality. Do people on crime scenes actually go up to dead bodies and close their eyes with their fingers?
No, I actually thought about that. I was
Yeah.
like, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Why would you touch the body? Don't put the fucking
Right,
hands
right.
on the body.
Do they do that in like
What's the matter
war
with you?
movies when it's super
Or
melodramatic and shit?
grab a blanket nearby and put the blanket over the body.
And yeah, like,
Like,
what do you
you
need to do
wouldn't-
the eyes for if you're going to do the blanket anyways? Which is what happened.
And also,
in this
don't
movie.
do the blanket. You have to investigate the crime scene. Like, you just
Yeah,
got
would
the
you
guy
want
here.
the blanket on the fucking body? No, you wouldn't. I
No,
know.
because they're just going to have to throw the blanket away. It's a waste of a
That would
blanket.
never happen on SVU. It would never happen. It's like yelling at
Put
the
that
screen.
blanket down, Scott. Or whoever on SVU would be.
Someone call Olivia. This is fucked up.
Oh, shit, that was my blanket. God damn it. Why was he even there? Why do they invite people to crime scenes that can't stomach the crime scenes? That doesn't make any sense. It's like, hey,
That's
dude, come
true.
look at this butt. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
All
that's
right,
a good
he got
point.
nothing
Shouldn't
out of
happen. Yep, that doesn't make sense.
Okay. Good. I didn't really understand, this is a question in the plot, why the kind of the bad other department boss guy beat up two random people as kind of fake.
Oh,
you know.
because they already, well, one, it was an easy thing. And so he's a racist.
Easy thing.
It's easy. But also, this guy already had connections. And so.
Which guy?
It's, the actual rapist murderer.
So you think the
So-
guy knew who the rapist murderer was?
Right. So
Because the main guy, Esposito, didn't even know who he was until after he saw that those two guys weren't those guys.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Yeah, you're right.
And if it's just so that guy, there's a lot of parts with that guy that don't make any sense. So
it's possible. We could say that he actually said, yeah, he went to his the rapist murderer guy. He went to his employers and said, "Oh man, I got a little out of hand. I need your help." And they're like, "Sure, buddy. You kill for us. We'll do you a solid back, and we'll make sure that somebody else gets framed for this." There you go.
really,
Yeah, why not?
because it makes no
What?
sense. Because they didn't have any leads on the guy. The only leads was
Well,
like this
yeah.
guy's looking at her in pictures, for some
Right.
reason.
Yeah. So on one hand, there's that. On the other hand, this is not an uncommon thing in criminal justice to where you go after some likely suspects that may happen to be of a minority and nail them to the wall. So if they happen to be rowdy and they happen to also be a recognized minority, and it's like, yeah, well, these guys did it. Sure, that happens a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, but then the guy, what does he do? He like closes the case. They close the, they let the guys go, right? Those two guys
Right.
get let go, and then they end up closing the case because the investigators sneak into that old woman's house. I mean, this is all, I guess, during like a shitty part of Argentina's history, but that I don't
Yep.
know.
I'm still thinking that yeah, I don't know. I didn't question it too much.
Can you imagine if you were the ex or the guy who's still alive and your wife got murdered and they're like, we're closing this case down because the investigators snuck into an old lady's house? You're like, what? No.
Well, it wasn't moving forward otherwise, though. That was sort of, they were on the way to closing it down anyway, it seemed like, because they were like, look, don't investigate this. Don't do anything about this. They were telling them not to investigate anymore.
Yeah, man. You guys, everything I had that I didn't like, you guys either filled it in for yourselves or got hints or something more than I
because
did.
I was in the mood to enjoy a movie.
So was I.
No.
I was too. I
No,
always
you know what
am.
it is? You know what it is, Danny?
I know,
Is
I'm
me and
teasing
John
you.
are softies. That's
Maybe.
what it
Yeah,
is.
maybe that's it.
Yeah, we love to think that this is real.
Right.
Like the way these people treat each other and act.
maybe
and-
there's that.
I don't know.
There's no way you thought that it was realistic that in a picture book with all your family and friends or whatever, that you outline the photos of people and tracing paper, number them,
Do
and
they
then
do
put the
that?
names next to it. That's so stupid.
Did they do that?
In the movie?
No, I'm saying, like, does anybody do that?
No,
I
absolutely
was
nobody does
wondering
that.
about that.
There's no way anyone does that. Right?
You don't
John?
think?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I've never known anybody to do that. But maybe, what if you have a lot of pictures of people and there's lots
At
of group
parties
stuff?
or
Yeah, but how do you get their
big,
names?
big,
I don't know.
huge. What if they have huge extended families?
Then what?
Yeah.
Like, first of all,
Maybe
how do you
it's
get their
for the,
names?
kids.
Second of all, why do you care to have their names? Like, who the fuck cares? You keeping
It
record
wasn't-
books in
it
case your
wasn't
wife gets raped and
necessary.
murdered
I mean,
later on?
It certainly wasn't necessary for the movie because you just said, "Oh yeah, that's so and so. He knows my wife. We don't need to have the names there." There was no. It wasn't necessary for the movie at all.
It was because they didn't remember their name.
Well, but he could have remembered his name. It's like, oh yeah, that's so and so. That was a friend of hers. There's no reason why he couldn't have just known it. So
I agree with you. There's no reason it should have been in there. We're in
Yeah.
agreement. Hooray.
yeah, we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't care either way. I was interested.
I think I said actually, wow, that's actually a pretty good idea.
See?
I'm way too lazy to do it though. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I figure if this is what's pre-phones, pre-everything, and if your great grandmother's got pictures one day and the kids are looking at it, well, who's that? Well, we fucking flip it over, look at it. I don't know. I don't know these things. I
don't know.
assume it would
I have
be
a huge
future
family,
reference.
and all of them have picture books, and no one writes the names down. And if you don't remember
Well,
a
you know
name,
what-
you're just like, oh, I have no idea who that is. Whatever.
And you know what happens with the picture books? They go in a box in a place that no one ever looks at them.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I don't know.
Hachi, A Dog's Tale. Did you guys think of that movie at least once when the guy was waiting in the train station
No.
for years?
But now that you're saying it,
The human Hachi waiting for his master to
he's
come
waiting
home.
for his master to come back.
Wow, Danny, that's
Wow, you
that's
really,
cool.
hated
That's really
this one.
low there.
I got Hachi on the mind, guys. Come on.
Yeah, I guess so.
We're breaking Hachi
Did
over the
you
coals
like
again,
Hachi
huh?
more than this film, Danny? Did you like Hachi more? I think the makeup was done better in Hachi.
Ooh.
Actually, I think you might be
Yeah,
right.
dude,
though.
the dog makeup was incredible in
I
Hachi.
think Hachi's eyes are probably more
The
expressive.
dog
to you.
acting was better than the acting in this movie. That's for damn sure.
Actually, the dog's eyes definitely were. Yep. All right, so Hachi wins.
Hachi, better movie,
you
never
you
regret.
just kind of,
Okay.
fucked that one up for me. Fucking
Uh,
Hachi.
Do I have anything else?
No.
I have so many notes that say makeup not great.
So
Makeup
angry.
not good. Makeup
so
not
angry. Danny angry. You turned into like this movie Hulk.
Ah!
You
I
like
got
me when I'm negative.
two
Don't
more
make me
things.
go negative.
And then quick commentary stuff. Do you think, this is just a question about the actors, do you think the main character Esposito wrote in his contract that he, with the aging makeup, got to keep all of his hair? I guarantee that he did, right?
Make it a little gray, but I keep all my hair.
Yeah, but it's not all the way gray. Definitely still dark
Yeah.
because I'm a fucking boss in 25 years, all right?
All right.
And the other guys are kind of like fat and bald, like completely. They put them in like weird bald caps. They don't look very good. And then the main character is same amount of hair, same physical shape, pasty white makeup all over his face for some reason, and then like salt and pepper hair. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's poorly done. It's They cheaped out on the makeup.
Yes.
Yeah, we know this.
Yeah, and I'll skip the
Prove
last
this one.
part. I got some commentary stuff. It's pretty quick because there wasn't very much good stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I got to admit, I soured more on the movie after watching the commentary because
Oh, maybe this is a case where that might have been bad. Was the director like kind of a little complimentary to himself?
he was 100% complimentary
Oh,
to
boy.
himself. He mainly talked about how unique everything they did was. And then on top of that, the thing he talked about the most were the colors. He talked about colors nonstop to the point where the one part I was excited about listening to it, like the soccer scene, I wanted to hear how they did that soccer scene. He didn't mention anything about how they did the soccer scene. He was talking
What
about
the fuck?
colors the entire time. That really pissed me off.
when you add the white makeup to the yellow makeup.
He's like, for
It
the
makes
front
a different
scenes, yeah.
kind of makeup. Yeah.
He would describe like what's going on a lot. He would talk about colors and the eye stuff. He's like, you can see it in his eyes. I'm like, no, you can't, guy. You cannot. There's nothing going on.
Guy.
you
You're
can't
definitely
see
not
it,
seeing
son.
it, guy. Guy, all I see in their eyes is a light. I can clearly see a light in their eyes.
The present was muted colors, except for Irene, because she always wears red because that's love, you guys. It's love. He had said it was mainly a love story. So if you think it's mainly a murder story, you're wrong, per the director. There was 109 effects shots in this movie. Can you believe that?
Really?
Not including the stadium shot, the entire
Were they just
stadium scene.
like overlaying something that was in the way or something, or what?
They
What are
didn't give like specific percentages of what they did, but the two things he mentioned a lot were that every single outside shot in the flashback parts they filmed with green screen windows in digitally inserted outside parts.
Oh, wow.
That makes
Because
sense.
believe it or
kinda
not-
looks like it with the weird grain they put on it too.
Did. And like the point was, it's kind of a period piece. So like they didn't want the cars outside to be modern.
Oh, right.
But-
Fair enough.
Oh,
I
Did
shit.
you
didn't really
notice
notice that.
one car
No.
in the movie?
No,
not really.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. That's a good. Yeah. Damn.
And the other thing they did was digital removal for the period piece
Right.
stuff.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice. I mean, I wasn't really noticing the time travel, hardly.
Yeah. Did you say the drunk guy was really famous, John?
I did not say that.
Salvador.
He's extremely famous, and,
Salvador.
They actually had to introduce him slowly because they didn't want people to like shout at the screen They like,
Oh, like a Marvel movie or something.
yeah, like if you show his face immediately, people would be like, "No, it's just that guy." But like the way they did it, intentionally, where they kind of show him from the back.
Salvador, I think it's Sandoval.
Sandoval.
Okay.
But they show him like from the back, and then like from 3/4 in the back, and then from the side, and they slowly bring him in. So like not everybody at once realizes who he is at the same time. That was intentional.
Guillermo Francella, huh?
That seems like something they didn't really need to probably. I don't know, because we don't know these people, so it doesn't seem like.
Yeah.
A big deal.
He's a comedian,
in his country. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. He was great. I liked him. Was he expressive enough for you, Denny? Did
He
What
was-
about his eyes?
he
Did you like
was-
his eyes?
I thought he did a good job.
I thought he was
No,
I thought he played a really interesting drunk. People don't play
Yeah.
drunk like that very much, and I
No,
thought it was
I
pretty
like-
good.
I agree.
But I thought Irene was probably
wait,
the best.
another agreement.
What?
Ding, ding,
Can
ding.
we stop? Let's just stop and let's just enjoy that positive moment.
I said Irene. I
between-
thought was even better. That's positive too.
What?
I thought she was the best part.
I
followed
loved
by him.
Irene.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was great. Director says there was a part when this is bad. When it was a scene where they were showing the guy looking at her in the pictures, right? And
Right.
I don't
yeah.
know. So what level of unbelievable is that? Did you kind of have to be like, well, that's kind of a stretch, but sure, I'll go along with it? Or are we like, of course? Personally, you guys, what do you think? Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
Like the idea that this is what leads him to a suspect.
Right.
Like
The
he
pictures,
sees
he
this
sees the
picture.
guy looking at the girl in the pictures.
That's probably believable for a profiler, but not for a fucking desk clerk.
Yeah, okay.
Lawyer.
So you
I
bought
think
that.
a profiler. Yeah, I think a profiler would do shit like that.
Okay, so this criticism isn't bad, but I thought the director was putting it on me for not finding it believable because I'm not a profiler.
Oh,
He's like, if you
Saying that's your
understood
fault?
profiling, I'm like, well, yeah, but people watching movies aren't all profiles. You have to make movies for an audience, right? You can't.
No,
just
no,
like,
but the idea of that, if you've ever heard about profilers, that's literally what they do. Is they look at stupid shit like that and figure it out for some reason. Body language,
yeah,
how they look, what the action is and context is in the image or on the video or et cetera, et cetera.
so I'm dumb on that one.
No, I mean I wouldn't say dumb. You just never fucking watched a crime show.
True, I don't watch that
You know,
stuff.
maybe that's it. Maybe he's not right in saying that like if you don't get it because you don't know profilers. It's like if you don't get it, you've never watched.
CSI.
SVU
You never
or
watched one of my
CSI
17
or-
episodes
yeah.
of CSI.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see that
Okay,
profilers.
so yeah, one of the CG effects was the dog being kicked across the door frame.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean,
thought
I
it was
guess
just
I
a
could see that.
like a
'cause-
puppet.
Yeah.
I felt really bad about it until you did learn that the dog bit him. So then it was a little bit better, but it was still like, whoa, dog violence, sudden dog
True.
violence.
You're right, John, because it came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden they walk out of frame, and then all of a sudden the dog like goes. "Whirr."
Yeah,
And you're like, what the
flies
fuck?
across, and you're like, whoa, no,
I'm
no.
glad to learn it was CG.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought
That's-
someone
that's true.
drop kicked a stuffed animal.
That
Is
too.
what I thought.
Oh, that would be fair too.
I think it would have had the same effect.
Kick the puppet from across the fucking
Yeah.
set.
Oh, you fucked up the kick again. God damn
Oh,
it.
we gotta go again, guys. Someone get a different kicker.
And get a different dog too, because that one's limping now.
Quote from the director: "The makeup holds up even in extreme close-ups." Quote from the director.
I'm wondering. I'm picturing you, Denny, going, "No, it doesn't. No."
That's what my notes did.
Yelling
I
at
have
the
a
screen at
giant
that point.
capital no next to it. No.
Did you
No.
yell? Did you yell when he said that? I want to know what you yelled at him. Did you? Or did you just write no and carve it in your notebook?
Did I write-
piercing through several
Probably
pieces
I
of
do.
paper?
I do talk
Yeah,
to my
right.
TV, but I don't recall whether or not I yelled no at that exact moment. But I did capitalize right now on my notebook here.
You're supposed to
Oh,
say
oh,
yes.
you-
I
oh,
did
you
it. I
capped.
yelled and
Ooh.
screamed.
I capped it, and I have a tablet now, and it's pressure sensitive, and it's pretty damn bold, if you know what I'm saying. I pressed down real hard when I wrote it.
It's like a 20 points of anger.
It is. It's as much as you can get.
God, that sounds so lame.
So I think for next. All right. So top 250. Forgot about that part. TC.
No.
John.
Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna go no.
Yeah, I
Really?
mean, I don't think this is worthy of best movie ever. No, fuck that.
Oh, did you
Yeah,
have
top
anything on
250,
the old one or the new one, John?
Oh, well, the new one, the interesting thing about the new one, so I started to watch it because we accidentally had it on our Netflix queue instead. And
How far
so
in did you get it? Be like, this can't be in the top 250.
10
Right?
minutes because it just seemed really bad. But it's set more in, it's set like they're a counterterrorism unit. The guy
What?
that murders, spoilers, but this seems like it's an awful movie, so I don't care. But Julia Roberts is like a partner to the detective, and as asset for their counter-terrorist work. Like he's kind of a mole in the terrorist organization. Kills and rapes her daughter, Julia Roberts' daughter. And there's not much love interest. The whole love interest story is not there.
Huh.
Like that sort of like is the central component of this movie. And then in the end, Julia is like keeping the terrorist guy captive, but then the detective gives her a bullet and she shoots him and kills him.
Oh man, I'm already done. I'm already checked out. Fuck this movie.
Like just bad reviews of this film.
Oh, it's like a 30%
terrible
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought that up with the person I asked if they had seen it.
It's not good. I stopped by. I was like, well, it'd be really interesting to see about this remake. Nope, never mind.
Nope.
No.
Might do some research. Nope, can't stand this.
Yeah.
You know what though? The makeup was really good in that one.
Yeah.
The makeup's got to be good. Yeah.
Julia Roberts doesn't need makeup. Look at that
Yeah,
face.
she's not fucking.
Oh.
Yeah, she's getting some makeup.
Yes, definitely. Gonna get some 3 gallons of lipstick for those
Yeah,
things.
but they get the good stuff. They don't get the shitty stuff like these
Yeah.
ones did.
So next week we're sticking to the schedule because the other one's going to come out at a different time. So yeah,
What are you talking about?
Which
So
one
when
are we
I-
doing
when
next
we-
week?
so next week. So I'm going to cut this part out. So next week we're going to watch All the President's Men, but it's going to come out before this episode. So for this, I'm going to pretend like the bridge on the River Kwai is coming out.
Oh,
So
all
is
right,
it right now.
let's do that.
Next week
Wait,
we're going to
wait,
watch
wait.
the bridge on the River Kwai.
I like that one, by the way. That's
Wait a
good
minute
one.
though.
Wait a minute, what?
I just like that means that we're going to be falsely saying what we're going to watch next on whatever episode.
Yes, but I'm going to interrupt it and say,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll do something there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, we're gonna get
fair
all
enough.
fucked up from
I
here
don't
on
know
out.
if
Is
we
that what
need
you're
to be- I think given another 3 weeks might be good. We might really be in the thick of it then. Like,
well, we can have it at the ready, really.
Yeah.
All right, so this is
Yeah,
going to
that's
stay
right.
in. We might watch All the President's Men next week, depending on
How
the
the
news
week goes.
cycle, really.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Because
Things
at
are
this
getting
point,
pretty crazy.
we all might be dead pretty soon.
Yeah.
I am just so happy
might give
that
me
I'm
more
not a
time. I've
government
started
worker.
to try to,
I mean, I
I
really.
started
Yeah.
to try to read the book, so it gives me more time to catch up and read the book. Maybe.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
You got 1 week, John.
Got a
You got
week.
3 days.
Well,
Shit.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So one of those two. I think that's it. What do you guys think?
Oh wait. Well, do you want to talk about Bridge in the Word Quiet then? Sorry. I
Oh,
interrupted you
sure.
on that.
Shit. So if we do watch this one next week, we will watch it eventually in
Right.
the next 2 weeks at
Uh-huh.
least. Directed by David Lean. The synopsis is, after settling his differences with a Japanese POW camp commander, a British colonel cooperates to oversee his men's construction of a railway bridge for their captors, while oblivious to a plan by the Allies to destroy it. Sounds pretty cool.
It's good. Yeah, I've seen this one before.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
John, have you seen it?
A long time ago. Yeah, it's got
Ooh.
Alec Guinness in it, right?
Obi-Wan himself.
Obi-Wan himself.
TC, you've watched the movie and you think it's good. It's from 1957. This is very surprising.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was from, I think, school.
Oh.
It was one of the ones I actually didn't hate.
Did you start hating films in school where they were making you watch films too then, or no?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Yeah, and I'd get into arguments with my teacher all the time, and he'd like, get so frustrated.
That is not
I'm like,
surprising.
this is
at all.
terrible. This is terrible. That's like part of the one time where I said, where he,
so you can see here with the
Oh, yeah.
emotion. Oh yes, Terrence. What is
yeah,
it?
like I don't see any of that shit. And that's when he responded one day. He goes, "All right, Buscemi, shut up," just like that. I think I was making fun of like Citizen Kane or
Oh wow.
one of those other horrible fucking movies. But yeah, I was a pain in the ass. I mean, I'm always a pain in the ass, but especially in the film classes. So I guess I never liked movies. I don't know.
Yeah, we
Must have been pretty
run
funny.
of oldies. So
I
it'd
mean,
be good to
everyone
bring
in the
it up.
class was laughing. So yeah, I'm not the only one that felt that way too, right? Like other people hated it. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right,
right.
we'll figure it out next week. And
Oh, yeah.
good luck, guys, surviving another one of these
yeah, right.
7-day
Yep.
periods of time. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Go to our website, mission250filmcast.com. Our website is cool. I think that's all I have to say about it. It's pretty sweet. Please like and subscribe on your Facebook, whatever, podcast app,
Whatever it is,
iTunes,
you know, whatever it is,
something.
Yeah.
Twitter.
However you get your media,
Yeah.
fucking like us, would you?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Exactly.
All right.
And thanks for listening. And thank you guys. And I'll talk to you guys next
Thanks,
week.
guys.
All right.
See you next week.
Later. Hey, don't forget, look in their eyes.
Yep. You know what's
hate
in
it.
there? You know what's in there, don't you?
I hate it.
Secret.
No!
Stop